Hello and welcome everybody to our podcast. This is Welcome to Livingston, where we invite local businesses and people on to see what they're doing in the community. My name is Don Putkela.
And I'm Angela Putkela, and we're with the Putkela Group Real Estate Professionals.
Yes, and we are super excited about our episode today. Today we have with us someone that you may not know, but you've definitely seen her work around town.
Yeah.
100%. Her name is Kat McButterfly, and she's an artist for hire that's doing a lot of great things in the community. Thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
Great, Kat. You have such amazing work. And we've had a couple of the people that have been on the podcast, notably Kelly from Dragonfly Emporium, but I think there was a couple of others too that said, you have to have Kat. So it's going to be fun to bring you on here today and talk about your work.
That's wonderful. I'm happy to be here.
Great.
Yeah, so I know for people out there, if you have been in Howell, walking through downtown, you will have seen Kat's artwork in the windows. She comes in and does some amazing things with different businesses there, promoting things they have coming up and such. So I guess wanted to start off a little bit, maybe talk about your artwork a little bit or how you got started in doing this for so many businesses.
I got started 3 years ago after my fifth brain surgery. The art started about a week later. And while my brain was healing from surgery because I could not drive, my husband rented a space downtown Howell so that I could walk about and offer to paint people's windows for free just to be able to get my art out there, and I couldn't drive, so we rented the space, and I just started walking and asking, and at first people were not very receptive, and then a couple of the business owners said, sure, go ahead, put something up there, and it all grew from there.
That's beautiful work, and I know a lot of the people come down and they're shopping, and I've heard people ask of, wow, that art's just gorgeous, because Tyler from the movie theater as well. We've had him on too.
Oh.
The historic Howell Theater. Yeah.
He's a good friend of mine, yes.
Yeah. I think he mentioned you as well too. It's just really remarkable. Really stands out and
good. That's the goal.
And it's fun.
Yes.
I notice, it's so often it's unique and it jumps out, especially with kids and such noticing it.
Yes, that's my goal. I'm a G-rated artist, and I try and put things out there that bring joy and positivity to our community and to help move those kids and inspire them to be artistic themselves.
That's so beautiful. I was going to say, where do your ideas come from? Like, how do you choose what you're painting?
I'll get a request for something specific, a theme of something, and my brain just does what it does. Usually I don't have a plan. I just show up and my hands just start to paint.
Wow.
I don't know how to explain that. Yeah, because it's new for me and I'm still trying to figure it out as I go along. Yeah.
Did you do artwork before the surgeries?
I did. I was a power skating and figure skating coach for 26 years.
Okay.
That was my profession, so there was no art. I was always skating, always working. And I had a closed head injury while coaching hockey puck. And so for 6 years, it was 16 years total, but for the final 6, I was stuck at home. I couldn't drive. I was seizing daily. I was very, very sick. And when you're stuck in your home and you cannot leave and you can't do anything else, what do you do? So I started to draw and started to paint, and it was very messy and it was very chaotic, and most of the pieces were unfinished because I was very sick. Mm-hmm. But I did it anyways because it gave me something to look forward to every day. And then after my final surgery, it exploded out of my brain.
Wow. Yeah. That's remarkable. It's almost like you're a superhero, right? People have those origin stories, and this is your gift.
Yeah, I feel very lucky. I feel lucky, very lucky. I do. I know I am. Lucky to still be here. Lucky to be able to open my eyes every day. And the second I open them, my brain just thinks and sees and envisions art and nothing else.
Wow.
and what a blessing you are to our community, and that we're lucky to have you.
I am
Here in
equally
Livingston.
lucky.
No, that is so cool. And, talking to people and such, at first when the artwork started to show up down there, it was a question of, well, where did this come from? Who's doing it? And then to see it expand, to see, one shop had it in, they're like, oh, well, people like this, and our shop has it in and such. And it draws uniqueness to our community, and to see the seasonality of it, because I'm sure, based on what's going on, things going on downtown Howell are things, your artwork changes based
Yes.
on what's coming.
It does. You're going to see some very large changes here very soon because we have the Michigan Challenge Balloon Fest in June. And I'm going to be doing 3D hot air balloons up and down the sidewalks.
Wow.
And out where the balloonists are, where they actually, at the school where the great big sidewalk is, where the balloonists all walk and park their vehicles and put the balloons up, that entire sidewalk, I am going to replicate all 42 balloons on that sidewalk. So when the balloonists walk up, they will see their balloon in 3D form on the sidewalk. So I'm going to be working on that project starting next week after the rain stops this week.
Wow. Right.
That's amazing.
It's always changing, and it's really fun, and it brings joy and positivity to our community, and that's why I do it.
It looked like you host parties sometimes too, like
Yes.
kind of parties and things like that. Tell us more about some of those.
Those are so much fun. I get to do birthday parties is the big one, and when I host a birthday party, I do face painting, I do temporary tattoos, but not like the sticky ones. I actually draw art on these little kids' arms, and I bring henna for the adults so that there's something for everybody within that 2-hour span. And if it's a birthday party, I get a couple photographs from the parents ahead of time, and they'll send me a few of their kids' likes, and their hobbies, and I draw a caricature and frame it for the little child as I go to the party, because I feel like I got to bring a present, and I want them to always remember that birthday. And because I bring a caricature, I figure they'll have that all the days of their life, and that's that one party they will remember more than anyone else or any other party. So,
Wow.
Wow, that's powerful.
yeah,
Because with kids, those memories are just so important.
yes, they are.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I love the idea of being able to do the drawing tattoos and then for the adults henna, because
Yes.
some people, they want to try things out, or they want to have some, but they don't want a permanent tattoo, and to be able
Yes.
to have that.
Yes. And some of the children don't want, they are uncomfortable with people touching their faces.
Okay.
And so to put something on their arm where they can watch what you're doing, and then they can look back at their art that they chose themselves without having to look in a mirror, a lot of kids really like that. Yeah, it's really fun.
It's a lot better because when our kids were younger, they're much older now, but I remember inevitably something would happen and they'd have face painting and all of a sudden there'd be tears, and then it would be like, oh no, don't wreck the face painting.
Yes.
And I love the idea as a parent because it's like, oh.
Well, it's a long time to sit there, and I assume when they can, like you said, on the arm, they can see it happening.
Yes,
They're much more invested in it.
yes, yes. And they like to show it a little bit. It's
Right.
really fun.
So you do all this different types of art. What is your favorite art to do?
I don't have a favorite.
It's all wonderful.
It's all of it.
Yeah, post-brain surgery, I don't have any favorites. I like everything equally.
It's just nice to shake it up that there's so many different kinds, right?
Yes, yeah.
Right.
That includes scents and foods and colors, and yeah, I like everything the same.
Wow. Oh, and I know we were talking beforehand. You were saying that you even paint your Jeep.
Yes, yes. If you've driven by me, you've seen my paint on my Jeep. I have currently, this is the 4th time I've painted it. When I want to paint something brand new, then I spray paint my Jeep with black spray paint. It wasn't black when I first started, when I bought that Jeep. It was dark blue. Currently, I have Monet, Salvador Dali, Monk, the Scream is on the hood. And then on the opposing side, I have Vincent van Gogh and the start of a Tim Burton scene.
Wow.
Neat.
So
See?
it's about 3/4 of the way finished, and I'll have it finished when I have some time to work on it. I'm just very busy painting for others, so I haven't been able to do too much to it lately, but
Right.
going to get it done this year, I swear.
There you go. It's something kind of nice about having a distinctive car where everybody
Yes.
knows and sees that that's where Kat is today.
Yeah.
You know?
And when I run out of canvas, I just go outside and work on the Jeep.
There you go.
Very cool. Very cool. And you were saying like when you're doing the 3D balloons, is that chalk art you're doing then? Or
Yes,
is it
but I have a method when I paint with my chalk. So the chalk that I put down will stay on for a couple of weeks, including when it rains.
okay?
Wow.
Yeah, there's a trick to it.
Right.
Yeah, there's a little trick to it. If you use water and get the sidewalk wet prior to your chalk, and then you use a paintbrush and you paint with your chalk and then spray it with another thing of water afterwards, that chalk gets into that concrete and it stays and stays and stays and stays.
Wow. Like a henna for the sidewalk.
Right.
Yes.
So for all the parents out there that wait for the day before it rains to let their kids do the entire driveway, right?
Yes.
Don't tell the kids this method if you want it to go
No.
right away.
Because it won't come off for a few weeks.
Right. That is so cool because I've always wondered when you see those things and it's rained or such, how's that there? Because we've all had our kids or we've drawn with sidewalk chalk and, you just hit it with a hose and it goes right away.
Yes, yes. You can also use Aquanet hairspray. If some owners, which I've had requests, want it to stay for months, if you spray it with a little bit of Aquanet hairspray, it'll stay on for months. And it'll still fade off eventually, but it'll stay a longer time.
Wow. That is so cool.
All the neat, fun little things.
Yeah.
Right.
Because otherwise, chalk, I just think of, it rains and the Mary Poppins scene, right?
Yes,
It's like,
That.
oh, no.
Yes. That is so cool. That's so cool.
it's really fun to do. Yeah.
No, and I bet you when you're doing those things downtown, do you have kids and people stop to watch what you're doing?
Yes, and I get the kids in with me. I grab them, I have them sit down with me, or if I'm painting a window, I do the same, and I have the kids help. I'll give them a little thing. I'm like, hey, make me a little flower here, make me a little heart. How about if you help me paint this flower? So that way, when the kids come back with their families, they're always going to remember that they helped and this is their piece. And they'll bring their families back and show them what they got to do.
Oh, my goodness. Just the memories that makes.
Yes, yes, and that's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. That's just, I get
No.
goosebumps.
And some kid, they'll remember that for the rest of their lives.
Yes, they will.
Because
That's
it's
my
not
goal.
often that happens. Like, hey, you were looking at this. Come help me do
Be part
this.
of it.
Yes,
And
yes,
art is such an important part of life.
yes.
And all the different forms. And we have musicians in our household, but just that visual artistry is
Yes.
so beautiful.
Everything that we own, everything that we purchase, and everything that you see, from your cars to your shoes to building structures, was all designed by an artist before it was created. Everything. Everything.
I've never thought about it that way.
Yes.
That's a
That's
great
very
point.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every single thing
Begins with art.
begins with art.
And even I know you made comments to the podcast studio, which Wayne Media owns the Speakeasy podcast studio. We did interview them once before too, but they're so fantastic. And Rob Johnson, it was his wife that really is kind of the decorator of the house, I guess, over there. But she came and decorated everything in kind of a 1920s and speakeasy, and it's just so beautiful and striking. And it's nice for, the commentary to have something mentioned about it coming from an artist that is familiar with things,
And people, when they see that, they remember.
Yeah,
They remember.
Right.
absolutely. And it's a fun place to come and record and all that. But in terms of just art being everywhere, that's what
Yes,
kind of made me think of that.
Yep.
it is. It's all around us and inside us.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I know we were talking a little bit before that you had an idea for something you wanted to happen in downtown Howell.
Yes.
And I wanted to talk with you about that a little bit.
Good. So my idea was, and I put a little post out there and I got a lot of feedback. And what I would really like is if anybody is interested in helping me plan some things. I would like to do a weekend event on State Street where our current farmers market is, where we can block off the entire sidewalk and the roads and the parking area, make one section for children and one section for adults, and do a chalk art contest. And I think that we would probably get some sponsorship for that. I think that we could, have awards over time, and it could become like an annual event where people come from all over the country into our town to put their art out for everybody to view. I think it would be remarkable. And I think that it would help our local businesses, because people coming in from out of town need a place to stay. They need a place to eat. They need they need places to shop while they're there. I think it would be really good for our community. And I think that it might start out something small, like the Balloon Fest and Melon Fest. When they started out in the Fantasy Lights, they were very small and they grew over time.
Right.
And I think that perhaps we could do something really big with this over time. I just need some help organizing that.
Absolutely. So shout out to all the listeners out there. If anybody is interested in getting involved,
Call me.
be part of part of the
Text me.
community. Yeah. So, and we'll have the contact information in the show notes, and we'll mention that a little later on here. But that's something in terms of, you've probably come to some of these other events, and how exciting would it be to be in on the ground floor of something just so fantastic?
I would love that so much. And again, art for me is about putting that joy and that positivity out into our community. And that's what art does. It spreads that joy. And I feel like this day and age, we need it more than we ever have before.
Right.
And to be able to do that for our community, I think would be monumental.
Yeah. Magic.
Right.
That's why I make my art. For no other reason. Just to put that joy out there, for that magic.
And I love the idea of having, the street cordoned off and having a kids section, having an adult section, to see the growth.
Yes.
That, let's say you had, just like the Balloon Fest has been around for, I think it's 40 some years now or what have you. You could have people that are like, I did this when I was a kid in the kids section, and now look at what I've created 20 years later.
Can you even imagine the beautiful things that we would see happen from an event like that?
Yeah. I mean, that's just so beautiful. And right there in downtown.
Thinking about it.
Yeah.
I really want to do it.
Yeah. So let's make it happen. Everybody out there, reach out to Kat, and, it'd be an amazing thing. I know that downtown community is very close-knit, and I'm sure they'd be all on board to support that. But much like any of these festivals and anything, they need the warm bodies that are actually doing the work. Right.
Yes.
And that's so huge.
Yes.
And I know for us, we do a lot of volunteer work in terms of the Livingston County Association of Realtors, and even things like the Cub Scouts over the years. And so, but it's been neat as we encounter other people that volunteer.
Volunteering is, to anyone out there, if you haven't volunteered, you need to get out there and volunteer, because the personal growth you get out of it, and what you feel and what you see, the impact you have on other people, you just don't get that anywhere else.
You don't. Yeah. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it.
And for those with kids, what better thing? We've done the bell ringing for Salvation Army. We've, done food drives for Gleaners Food Bank. We did an episode on that one, but we always bring our kids, and we have them. And I know a lot of people do comment on that, because for the kids to come and enjoy an event like this, that's huge too. But for them to be there to help put it together,
to participate,
and to make a difference and volunteer. And as they get older, those, there's Interact, there's Student Council, there's great resources for that. But you don't have to belong to something at school to get out there and help your community.
That is very cool. No, I would love to see that. I think that I love Michigan, that we have all these festivals going on over the summer, but there's always room for more. And I have not seen a festival like that. I've seen like in the winter, you have like Plymouth has like the Ice Festival, where they bring in artists from across the country to make art that weekend in person. It'd be the exact same thing during the summer, where you can see the art happening over the course of 2 or 3 days.
Yes. And I will tell you, I grew up in Plymouth.
Oh, wow.
And when I was little, that festival started in our downtown area. and it was very small. And it has grown and expanded into a massive, beautiful artistic event that helps our local business there.
Right.
Right.
And yeah, to get to do some things like that here in Livingston County, I think would just be remarkable.
That would be fantastic. Yeah, definitely. So great. Now, in terms of your art is your business, you know, you do the parties, you do the storefronts,
Yes.
and what other things do you do for your business, and how can we help promote your business?
I teach paint and sip classes for adults, and I teach a snack and pack paint class. It's the same idea for children, and I bring snacks and pudding cups, and so I get to do that. I also donate my time every Sunday at the Howell Farmers Market, where I do free face painting, free henna, and free temporary tattoos. And my tent, which has the big butterfly on it, is right on the courthouse lawn, so anybody can come out there any Sunday that it's not raining. If it's raining, I can't face paint because the paints will get on their clothes and make messes. So if it's not raining, I am out there every Sunday doing fun, free things. So come see me out there. Let me give you some free art for you and your kids.
Nice. You're just such a part of this community.
I sure try to be.
Yep.
Yes.
I sure try to be.
You know, it's fun because you've mentioned henna a couple times, and back when we were on our honeymoon, so we went to Hawaii on our honeymoon, and I got a big, huge henna tribal band on my arm, and I was having a surgery when I came back. So I knew I was going to be in the hospital, so it stayed on for like a month because it wasn't getting washed off.
Yeah, it stays on
Yes.
for a long time.
But I had convinced my mom that it was a real tattoo.
And at first she was so bad.
She's like, no, that's not real. I was like, no, I decided to get it. It was real. Like a week later, it's still there. She's like, no, it's not real.
Oh my gosh, that's really fun.
Yeah.
And she'd warmed up to it when she realized that it wasn't real. She's
Yes.
like, then she was
Did you
disappointed.
ever get the tattoo
No,
in
I've
its
never.
place?
Nope, I've never had a tattoo.
Well, if you find a photo of that, I'll put some henna back on.
There
for
you go.
I'll replicate that for you.
Yeah. Very cool. I really value that you're giving back to the community, and you've grown over, just any small business or artist. People out there, it's okay to start small
Yes.
and grow from there. And as people see it and they appreciate it, every artist has their own style, and you have your own style as well. And that's just wonderful to see.
Well, thank you. For me, art is, I think it's different than it is for most people. For me, art is, and the things that I'm able to do is nothing more than just trying to put that joy out there for my community and nothing else. No other reason.
And I think that you really are building a following, which is just beautiful because it's such a
good.
positive message.
And I hope that those that follow me continue to spread that joy.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah.
It is important.
It's kind of that purpose in life.
Yes. That is my purpose.
And you've been through so much. So
Yes.
to make, and sometimes I think there's people out there that are facing challenges, right? Whether it's health, whether it's monetary, whether it's emotional or whatnot. And it's a question of what you do with it.
Yes.
Right. You don't have to let that just pull you down. That when you say, all right, we're going to switch gears, and how about we get into art then? Or, you're such an inspiration, because that's really what the world needs more of, because there are challenges and there is conflict, and that's okay.
It is.
But it's what do we as people do
Yes.
with that conflict to, again, spin it around to make the world a better place.
Yeah, it's like how we manage that, how we manage that frustration, how we manage that pain, how we manage that fear.
Right.
It's very important.
Right. Well, a lot of people let something that happens define them in a negative way, where you've let it define you in a positive way.
I sure try to.
Yes.
I will tell you, had I known all those years ago in 2007 that head injury was going to lead me down to where I am right now today, I would let that happen to me all over again. I would, and go through all those things all over again, because it led me to where I am right now, in this purest form of joy that I have ever felt.
To provide to other people for them to feel as well.
Yes, because that joy spreads
Yeah.
to everyone around us. And then those people spread that joy. And it just continues and continues and continues. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it really is.
It's a good way to live.
Yes,
Honestly.
100%.
Is there anything that you've come across that was kind of surprising as you've been doing some of this art? And
I am a little bit surprised at the things that this new brain of mine is able to accomplish. I'm also able to play musical instruments now that I could not play before.
wow.
And although I can't retain the information, when I'm learning something, it's very easy for me to be able to play. I play the guitar, the piano. I'm practicing my violin, the harmonica, and I dabble in the clarinet. And so
How
that's been
neat.
really fun,
Wow.
getting to do fun new things. Yeah.
It's exciting because it's not just the visual. It's kind of that
it's-
oratory.
Yeah. The visual I don't really have.
Yeah.
Everything just comes through my brain and then out my hands, whether I'm painting, drawing, sculpting, wood carving, doing leather work, or playing an instrument. It all just comes through my brain and out my hands.
What a variety.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything. So talented.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
It's so much great information. And it's interesting because, coming into doing this episode today, I had one thought of what we were going to talk about and everything. And then to just experience and to talk to you and such, I think we both just learned so much.
Yeah. Very
And
deep
it's just
dive.
a deep dive, and it's just great what you're giving the community and the support that people have given you and you've given and such.
Yes.
I would just love to be able to come out of this to have people out there support your idea for a new festival, support, the art coming into Livingston County, because we do need so much more of that.
Yes.
And it's just such a great thing. So I guess the last thing today would be, if people are going to reach out to you to do a party or hire you to do their windows and such, how do they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me through Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. I check them daily. My busiest social media is my Facebook, so they can send me a DM on Facebook, and I get back with them pretty quickly.
Great. And we're going to put some of the things in the show notes, so that way for any of the listeners, just check there. Should be a great one to reach out to for any of these topics. So, and, in terms of Livingston County, you've been here since you landed in the downtown then. What do you like best about Livingston?
There are several things that I like about Livingston County. I moved from, the Plymouth-Canton area, where it was very, very noisy and very congested, and moving out this way when I was a teenager with all of our fabulous lakes and our wildlife and our farmers. And that you can drive down a dirt road and pull over at somebody's house where they're selling honey, and you can put money in the box and get honey and continue on your way. I love every aspect of our county. I really do. And being a lifelong figure skater, when the lakes do freeze, that is really fun to just pick my lake where I'm going today to go and skate on the lake.
Must be pretty excited about the ice rink coming to downtown Howell then, right?
Can we talk about that briefly?
Yeah, we can.
I've already volunteered to help lay the brine lines, because at the Howell rink and at the Ice House in Brighton, I was the first skating director there. And I physically helped build the north and the east rink. And when the new brine lines were put in the Howell rink, I was a massive part of that. And I also drove their Zambonis, each of them, for 20 years. And so what I want to do is I want to help lay that ice down, and I want to drive their Zamboni for them, and I want to be able to give to my community and take people that don't know how to skate, like all the littles, or it doesn't matter to me what age they are, and get them out there and teach them to skate just for the fun of it, just because I can. And I don't want a single thing for that. I want to be able to volunteer and donate my time to make that a really fun, wonderful project. for our town, and I cannot wait for it to open.
No, that
Can't
is
wait.
super exciting. I mean, it just, for those of you listening out there, it just got approved, the conceptual and everything. So in downtown Howell, right by the depot there for the train and that, and the children's gardens that they have, we are going to have a full outdoor ice rink covered. You know, there's going to be parking out there. They're going to have a fire pit out there. It's just going to be an amazing area. And what a wonderful thing to be able to bring people into downtown year round.
Yes. And in the summertime, that will be our farmer's market. So our farmer's market is going to be relocated. So it will be under that pavilion all summer long. And then all winter long, we will have the ice rink. And it's going to be similar to the one in Frankenmuth. So it doesn't matter if it's warm or cold, that ice will be there all winter long.
Wow.
Wonderful.
That's awesome.
Can't wait. I'm so excited.
Yes.
Such great things in our community.
Yes.
It really is.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Always growing and expanding in positive ways.
In positive ways, yes.
That's why I live in Livingston County.
Awesome. I love it.
Wonderful.
Love it. Love it. Well, thank you so much for coming in and for joining us today, Kat.
Thank you for having me. This
has
is
been
wonderful.
Really great. And
Yeah. Yeah. So no, thank you so much to everyone out there. Please check out the podcast. Like and subscribe. Reach out to Kat McButterfly. Check out her Facebook page. To the local businesses that have been on our podcast before, or those that would like to be, please reach out to us. Please reach out to Kat to have her come paint your windows. And if anyone out there is just got that organizational bug and would love to get involved in creating a new festival for sidewalk chalk, we would love to have you reach out to her, even reach out to us, and we'll connect you guys to put something together there, because we would just love to see that happen.
I would really love to see that happen as well.
great. Well, hey, thank you so much for doing this. And
And welcome
to Livingston.